Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Vision and Purpose Community Magazine. It's all about Women History Month, and we are women who lead and women in media. And I have a special treat for you tonight. We're going to take over. We're going to close out Women History Month in a big way. We are talking to some fine leaders of the community, some fine women in media, and we're going to get it done. So I'm going to start to my left. Yeah. I was going to say, no, I got to start to my right, my ambassador, Crystal Good.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Yes.
Crystal.
Yes.
This is fun.
And yes. And then I'm going to start with Belinda Stevenson. How are you?
Hello. I am great.
Yes. And then Miss Beautiful on the end, Simone Walker. How are you?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yes, ladies, are we ready to do this?
Yes, we are.
Yes. This is Women History Month, and we are closing it out in such a big way. This was a big celebration for me. You know, we were celebrating 10 years of me being in media, but for the VMP, because all us in VMP team, and 2 years of the magazine.
Yes.
So
That's something to
that
celebrate.
was huge. It was big.
Yeah.
So what a way to close this out is talking to the women that's part of the VMP team, and just in their own right, we all individually are leaders of our community and leaders in the media world of what we're doing. So we're just going to have a big discussion about that. So we're going to start out with Black women in leadership. You know, what is our leadership role? What do that look like now in 2022?
It looks real good.
Exactly.
It looks real good.
Okay,
And it's
Simone
building.
starting it first. All right, it looks real good. Come on, tell me about it, Simone.
It is so encouraging to see the progress that we've made, and even we haven't reached where we want to be, but we can never give up, because if we had given up, we would not have an African American vice president. We would not have an African American nominee for Supreme Court justice. We would not have, these people in place to inspire and encourage those, who are coming under them, those lawyers who are coming up thinking that, they may never get there. Just, it's a great day.
Yes, it is.
It is a
Yes,
great
it is.
day.
Yes.
It is. And, speaking of, having people to look up to, one of the articles in the magazine is about a young lady who is a young leader. She's only 15, and her dream is to be on the Supreme Court. And this was before, the Ketanji's hearing. So that, to see that right there, is obtainable.
Yes.
It's in
Yes.
reach.
Yes.
And when the article was written, it was not even in sight. So
Exactly.
that's amazing.
Yes.
So the seed was already planted. And even look what Karen, look what you're doing, Karen. You had a vision that a lot of women would want, but and never think that they can have it. But you never gave up. You never gave up, and I'm so proud of you. And I applaud you for this beautiful studio and everything that you're doing, the opportunities that you're affording African American ladies, because this is Women History Month. I mean, so you're just doing a phenomenal job. I so love you.
Thank you.
So
She's
love
trying
you.
to make me blush. Look, Krista and I are going to start crying. So when I get teary, I know not to look Krista away. Because
Exactly.
I know.
If y'all start, you're going to get me started.
Yes,
Don't do
yes.
that.
And so, Belinda, what does that mean to you?
Well,
in
what?
2022.
In 2022, it's like women always pretty much led by example, but now you can really see the example. A lot of times we didn't notice it. It's like we're being highlighted in a way that we have never been. The spotlight is on us, and we are showing up and showing out. And I love it. I love it. And we're intentional. And being intentional is important. So
I'm loving this, guys.
Yes.
And I believe the same as well. In 2022, I'm just going to flip on the other side. As much great things that we are seeing coming from women in leadership, it still need to have that push. You know,
Yes.
we are still needing to change the narrative, because we're going to go on and talk about, like, we're going to take a look at the Supreme Court Judge Ketanji, right?
Ketanji.
Yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and the Vice President. Well, let's look at them. You know, as much as they are in these roles and letting us see that they are attainable, but look at the sacrifices they are making, and still the discriminatory actions that are placed against us. So, you know, even though as smart as we are and qualified as we are, the fight that you have to see, you know, that's going on with the Supreme Court, just because, you know, Biden had made a strong factor that if he win, that he was going to put a black woman in that position, and not just picking a black woman to be in that position, but she's just as
Qualified as anybody else up there. Yes,
So,
indeed.
and that's some part that still. That's why I say we still must change the narrative.
Yes.
You know, because as great as all this look,
It's not
It's
enough.
And I
all-
will say this too, just not to cut you off, but
Yes.
the efficacy of our positions. Like once you get in the position, we have to be able to be effective in the position. Because I will say this, that you know we have our Vice President, Ms.
Yes.
Kamala Harris, but she's been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
think she's gonna
saying?
show
But
up.
the vice presidents have never been
Yeah.
Right.
always boisterous.
Yes.
Right, but we got to understand too. You know, the role. We got to understand the role. Just like Miss Ketanji Brown, she knew her role.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my
indeedy.
God. See.
Oh, she knows.
She wasn't
her role.
having
She
it.
was.
Though. I
She
love how
was.
she stayed poised
Yeah.
through
Oh,
all
my
that.
goodness.
You know,
Yes.
she showed up with grace.
Yes.
Yes.
I tell you.
Gosh.
You
Oh,
know,
And
no
the
matter
intimidation was
how.
all up.
Ooh, I loved
yes,
it.
Me too. I love
And
it.
we
She
were
said,
built
first of
for
all.
that.
Oh,
We
yes.
were built for
Yes.
that. Black African American women were built to make things happen.
Amen.
They tried
Amen.
to break us. They tried to
Amen.
break our spirit.
Amen.
They tried to break us. You can break our bones, but you can't touch our spirit. You can't touch our minds. You can't touch our hearts, and it infuriates them because they can't break you.
We might
But
bend,
good-
but we don't
we
break, right?
bend, but we don't. Lord,
yes,
she is, as much as we talk about we're not there, but you're setting the platform for more to come. She can do it, and look how she did it. Look at all the extra things that her strength and her poise and her character stood there and showed. You black women have this. You have attitude. Da da da
Yeah.
da. You
Angry
all
black woman.
and look what she has, the role model that she will become to other young girls. I don't have to be that. I can be that, and look where I can get. You can make it. You can make it. You gonna have. Oof.
They say
Simone
don't
said
get you
yes.
started. Don't get
Lord,
you
Lord,
started.
Lord,
And yes, and I agree too. If I have to say, her pores, and that's because the grace of God that's in her, is keeping her at the poorest point. And the same way where I would say our Vice President Kamala, because when Biden announced his running mate, it wasn't easy for her. Is she black? Is she
And it
Asian?
still isn't.
Is she this? Is she that? She was against Biden before. That's just part of politics in the game. She stood up for what she believed in. And I think that's one of the reasons why he picked her, because she stood on her stance, and didn't do the politic dance. She did the political dance of being the voice for what's right. And I think she got a lot of backlash for that. But if anything, I think Biden respected her for that,
And
that's
he likes
why,
strong women.
Yeah.
His wife is a strong woman.
Yeah.
So he's,
he
this
likes
was
strong
nothing for him. It's like,
Yeah,
I want a
yeah.
strong woman around me because that's what I'm used to having around me.
Yes,
No,
yes.
man, I mean, you have to have, I always say, you have to be built different to deal
Yes.
with women of color because we are strong and we shouldn't be overshadowed because of that. A lot of times people make that seem bad. No, we have to be.
Yes,
There's too many odds against us.
Yes, I love it. That's why we are continuing to change the narrative
That's
and
right.
moving right along. So how do we begin to or continue to change the narrative?
Keep building.
That's right.
I
Keep
love that.
building bring out the strength of our black women and show our younger generation, because things have changed so dramatically in the sense of lady being a lady and being a strong black woman. And we've developed this, like I said, the persona that all black women have attitudes. We have to get to our young girls. We have to get to them to let them know your body is not your answer. Your body is your strength. Your mind is your strength. You know, your wisdom is your strength, and what we pour into them and what we show on TV has to change. It has to. That's how we change that narrative.
I agree with you.
Because it changed.
I think we have to teach our young women, our young girls, how to love themselves.
Yeah.
Because
That's it.
and that self-care thing, everybody talk about that now and everything. But these are realities. You have to take care of yourself. You have to love yourself too, to know that your body is not the answer.
Exactly, because once you know that, I don't care what you see on
I
TV.
don't care.
My child's influence was not TV.
Absolutely.
It was me.
Absolutely.
I can't put the onus on anyone else.
Amen.
You know, you have to step up as a parent and do your part. If you really want to see the difference in your child, you got to show them the difference. You know, you got to lead by example, and then when that child sees that, certain things will be distasteful to them.
Self-love. I'm telling you, because as a young woman growing up, when you see a woman who doesn't understand her self-love, then you see that carried out in different ways. And if you never know what self-love looks like, that is hard. So you can't be authentic. You can't stand in your power and speak with authority because you don't even know who you are. You don't love yourself. So I think that is key to changing the narrative and keep the narrative going in that direction.
Yes.
And lead with love, like, because the angry black woman thing. No, we're colorful and animated.
And they don't understand.
And they don't
it's not
understand
for you to
that.
understand. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay, and I love me.
Yes,
That part.
But that is the main thing too. What you saying, Crystal, is to love yourself. We hear it all the time: self-love, love yourself. But what do loving yourself mean? You know, because a lot of times, you know, we have our young youth out here, our young ladies, thinking they do love themselves by showing what they got, showing off the. So we have to, when we say love yourself, we gotta break it down and be, you know, specific in what it is that we talk about. Because love yourself is knowing who you are through Christ. For me, I'm going to say
because
that.
it's different for everyone.
Yes, because it's different for everyone.
Not one size fit all.
Right. Yeah. So when I know how to love myself through Christ, then I gonna stay mindful of what I'm putting out and what I portray. Because if I want to walk in the authority of being Christ-like, then I know, like you said, it's not about showing off my body. You know, I know it's not about having the filthy mouth, the potty mouth. And I know it's, even when I'm upset, yes, am I perfect? No. And having the right mind to know to come back and apologize. Because we all we are gonna be tempted. We are gonna, slay a little. But you gotta be professional enough. Be professional enough to come back, or just not even professional enough, but personal enough for me. If you're loving yourself, and want to be to the next level where we need to get at, is not being afraid to say that you're wrong and apologize, because that's what I know in our community. That's something that we have to change and still work on, is knowing how to apologize and knowing when you're wrong. Don't let it go beyond a certain point before you come back and be a part of it, because that's being the bigger person.
And then also, to piggyback off of what you said, we also have to, we look at the young kids, we were like, oh, they just out of control. Our parents did it to us, their parents did it to them. Each generation is different, right? So what we have to do, though, because our black people are plagued with so many different things, again, I always say you have to look at the what instead of the why. Because when you look at the why, you stand in judgment, right? But if I look at the what, you're growing up in the inner city without a role model, without a mother, lack of resources, then I can sit back and say, I can sit back and not judge that young woman because of how she showed up in this world. Because we all didn't show up like this. We all done did some things and been through the storm, But then we found our way. But you have to look at people's story because everybody has a story.
And that's true.
Good, bad, or indifferent. You know, you can have the best story and still show up terrible.
But and that's going back to the village raising the youth. Yes, the village. We gotta make sure that it's the village.
The right village.
Yeah, the village is taking care of home base.
Yes,
the villages out there.
The right.
There's some out there that you know what that child raised there.
But we know we come from the old school where the village did help raise the child. You know, because any authoritative figure had a right to correct us and put us in the right path. So to your point, some of the youth that didn't have the parent and the guardianship at home, the village helped them get to that point. I'm telling you, I know in my neighborhood when I grew up, we had one lady and one man. Believe it, the lady was my mom, and everybody, she would put you in line. And then we had Calvin Woodland. I would never forget Calvin Woodland Senior. By the fact that schools, because if you know back then in the 70s and 80s, the schools in Southeast Washington, they was just like horrific, and they used to call him there to walk the halls to help keep the kids and the children in line. And you know, and when you see somebody's, and half of the time they acting out because of what, like you said, we all saying because the lack of love. And so when someone show interest in them and discipline them, because believe it or not, kids, they do want guidance, they do want the discipline.
They absolutely
do.
So but I also look at like I had a village coming up, you know, my aunts were like, I call them my mama tees, you know, they were my mama and my aunties, and I still have that village. But even though I had that village, you know, I still did things, you know.
We all do.
Yeah, that's
what
I'm
we're
saying.
saying. We
so
all
you
do.
have the village, but where's the line drawn? I mean, I think you're just going to go through those life experiences. You're going to experience those things because my village was good. It's a fine line.
It's just the village just has to have a revolving door.
Or you have a foundation. So when you do stray, you know, you have something to come back to.
Absolutely. And that's it. It is. It's about planting them seeds and having that foundation there. And Simone, what I'm going to pose to you, though, you know, name one, just if you can, because I know we got a lot. Name one thing you value as being a woman. And I think that's part of it too. We have to value who we are. And as a woman, what is one thing that you value?
I value being a woman of having the strength and the insight to be the one who can make things happen, and also to be that support beam to our men. Because we were made a certain type of way. Just like men was made a certain type of way. But the special thing about women is that we need the protection, but we can have that support. We have the strength to make it happen. We have the strength to be there when they fall. We have the strength to bring them back up where they don't have, you know, in that manner. I value being a woman for all the things that women go through that men could never understand. Good God Almighty. That God still gives us the ability to manage. We can make a whole meal out of peanut butter and a potato. We can carry things and get things done. We can get it done even when we you don't have that man. That knowledge, that strength, that power, and that you can't break us. And you know, to build that up, to be that person.
Yes.
You know, so I value that. I value that being looked upon as, you know, that's somebody special coming through the door. Not because her hair's done or she's wearing this, but because she is a woman. The ability to give birth where you can't. A woman is the only one who can.
Yes.
You know, that miracle.
So, Chris, I'm going to come to you before we go to commercial break. Tell us, what is one thing that you value about being a woman?
The one thing that I value about being a woman is our nurturing spirit. Kind of like on the other end of that strength is that ability to be nurturing and to be supportive and to care for those in our families that need, you know, to raise the kids, to help the elders. You know, that's a nurturing thing. And and as a mother myself, being able to watch my kids and watch them grow and to be able to teach them things. I think that is one of the greatest things that I value as a woman, to be able to be a nurturer.
Wow, that is one. Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, we got to take this quick break, and we'll be right back at you. You are hearing it here. We are Women in Leadership, Women of Media, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. We'll be right back at you. See you on the other side.
It is key that you mind your mental health.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing this week? Hi.
Use the 5 keys to mental movement.
Really monumental week for me. I realized that I was not being myself.
Reaching out.
Be positive attitude person self, like you guys know me to be.
Staying upbeat.
And get back to that happy, cheery self you guys of me.
This week's been kind of
being creative.
All of the workload that we have on online learning. So I've been trying to use different platforms and different websites to help ease my mind and ease my stress.
And what about you, Margaret?
Well, you guys know me. I just love to work with others and serve them.
Serving others.
Is that when I serve others, my mind is off of myself.
That's right. And don't forget, self-care is key.
Self-care.
All right. So see you guys next week.
Right.
Bye.
Your mind matters.
Yes, and welcome back to a special edition that we having with Vision and Purpose Community Magazine as we celebrate women in leadership, and now we're going to move into the women in media portion. We have 4 women sit here on this platform, and we all are voices of media, and in different ways that we stress our voice in media. So, Belinda, I'm going to start out with you first, and reason why I want to start out with you first, you are a newcomer to media. Yes, you've been now on the platform as a co-host and also writing in the magazine as well.
Yes.
So as the newcomer, I'm going to come to you first. So what is your media voice, and what does that say about you?
Perspective. I think that says a lot about me because I have balance. Like I can look at the yin and the yang, the good and the bad. I always tell you, I always go for the core. It's always the nucleus for me.
Yeah.
I don't look at the outer because, like I said, we all have a story and it shows up, in a physical sense. So I think for me, it's perspective. I think I bring perspective. I try to do that in every aspect of my life. So when people come and tell me things or their problems, I say, well, maybe if you look at it this way, instead of just automatically just jumping into like, oh, girl, no, you shouldn't be doing, no. Or I say, what's your story?
All right. So, and I'm going to go to you, Miss Beautiful Simone. What is your media voice?
My media voice is the ability to reach as many as I can and use that platform to change the narrative. There's so many topics that we can take, and it's never ending. So you could take a topic and create something and make change happen. Like for me, it was my platform is mental health. So because I had a family member who committed suicide, that was my platform to speak to as many people and interview as many people who have considered or attempted suicide. And so tell their story and share their story that they can encourage somebody else. So yes, being able to have that ability to reach people and make some change.
Yes, I like that. Mental health is real close to you and I. So yes. And Crystal, the ambassador here, your media voice, you work the media angle from so many different angles. So
I was trying to figure out
which one of your media voice are you going to talk about, right? So give us a little perspective of all.
Okay, well, And that's kind of what I was going to do. I started, no, because I was going to say, you know, my voice has kind of changed throughout my career in media.
Okay.
Because I started in 2007 with no idea that I even was going to get into media. So when I got into it, my voice was just to share as much stories, share as much information as possible. But then I fine-tuned it to making sure that it was positive stories that uplifted people, that brought out, that encouraged people, that helped them, that gave them information to make them better. So that was my voice, and it's kind of stayed kind of right there. They gave me the nickname of the Princess of Positivity when I was doing radio, because I would start off, like we had to start the show off with positivity.
Yes.
We collected checks. There was no you know, it was always forward movement, you know what I'm saying? Intentional with the words and things of that sort, because I understand the power of media. So my media voice is to make sure that we are sending out those positive media vibes out there. Media gets a lot of negative attention. It can be such a trap, and it doesn't have to be a trap. It can be a release. It can be something to inform and encourage and inspire people. And so that's really what my voice is, and I just take that across multiple you know, platforms. So I do video and everything, and photography, and I write, and I graphic design. So I just use all of that, and I put my voice into all those things.
Yes, and yes, and she does. and I have to piggyback off of that and just say, you know, just being a positive voice for my community was just first and foremost. You know, when you constantly just see a lot of time mainstream and just other media platform just always not showing us in the best light. I like to go and tell them hidden stories in our community, them hidden gems that just do what they do because that's what they love to do, and you know, and not looking for the accolades and not looking for, you know, all that. These are the beauty of the stories in our community, and just now having a magazine and be able to also write it in words and put it in words. That's something tangible that now that they can always have, you know, because everybody was like, you know, told us we are crazy going in print in a digital world, but when you are doing the
time you went into it.
Yes,
and right at the shut down, and but you never gave up.
Yes, and right at the blink of the pandemic. But I think Crystal and you all can just testify to that because you was actually one of our first stories. Yes, in our magazine. She was performance art with South Washington at the time. And so it, you know, it's just like the beautiful story that we wrote on you. You know, you're having your own media company and acting, and we got some lovely just
pick
shots.
It up in VMP magazine.
Yes, I love it.
So we gonna be that's the reboot. Crystal, Crystal said we coming out with the reboot. You know, for our yes. So for me, that's it. Being that positive voice for our community, finding them hidden gems in our community, and just telling a story. I say my voice, I want to be a great storyteller, because am I a writer, am I a journalist, am I all these things? No, because I haven't came from that background. I haven't studied that like you and Crystal. You all, this is y'all study, you know.
But you're a natural community activist.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. So, and I love being a great storyteller and just being there for the community. So that's where my voice come from, is just want to be a great positive storyteller, and making sure that we are depositing great things in the community. So that's where we are.
And just FYI, like you said, I didn't go get the formal training till 5, 6, 7 years into doing this, and that's because I wanted to level up. So
I
love that
any
level
training. When they called me, I did one line. I was dating someone in radio. I did one line, and another producer at another radio station heard that line, and then they heard me do a Thanksgiving gospel special. It was like, hey. And that's where it all started. So people think that you have to have all this training and all this schooling and all this. If you have the talent, the willingness and the skills, you can do it.
Yes,
you can do
yes,
it.
yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, let's take a look. And while we're talking about women in media, let's just take a look at the women in media from, back in the past, present time, and what the future look like. So I'll go first this time. So you all know I got to go
Oprah.
there and say Kathy Hughes.
Oh, Kathy Hughes.
And Oprah Winfrey
I
for
know,
me.
yeah.
And so, in Kathy Hughes I always love sharing this story because back in the time when she came into radio, it was dominated by men. Talk radio was just nothing but men. And she was like, here I come, I am on this scene. And not was she on the scene, she just, perfected her craft and learned what she needed to learn about, to the point now she owned her own radio station, to owning her own TV station. So that's just like you said, Crystal, about the story that we're writing up. When you see it's tangible and when you see it's possible, you be like, oh wow, And so and then I would have to say, and Oprah when it comes to TV. Because at the time she came in, she knocked Phil Donahue off the #1 spot. And nobody thought that would be done. And definitely coming from a woman, and a black woman at that. And she stayed there. She commanded who she was and just knew her voice was powerful. And she had a message because Oprah had everybody saying, well, Oprah said. Well, Oprah said. I watched Oprah today, and
I think
Oprah
people
said.
started saying, well, Oprah said, well, they said, well, Pastor said.
Exactly. And I love that because the whole world, black, white, or whoever, they always said, well, Oprah said. Oprah said.
No
And
matter what you did.
Yes,
You wanted to be
yes.
on her list for
Yes, for
Our
whatever.
favorite thing this because
Yes.
Oprah read this.
Yes. And so now look at her now. She has her own TV channel and everything. So it's just
network.
like, that's what I'm saying. She have her own network now. And so it's just like, oh wow. So that's mine. So okay. So Simone, who is yours?
There are too many to even name, but those are really great examples.
Yes.
For me, and it was more so in acting. Diane Carroll was my shero. I was so heartbroken because I never got the chance to meet her or work with her in the industry of acting. And when I saw her on the TV, she was just poised and she was just classy and elegant. And I'm like, I want to be just like her. And I'm fixing tried to fix. Okay, it didn't work out.
You made an attempt.
I made an attempt.
Yeah, because her hairdo was.
She was Diane Carroll, and I found myself trying to act like her, and she broke barriers, and she made it happen, and she was on the TV, and she was all over this place. So then now mine is and that's really bad.
Of course you're going to lose it.
It's always
The
like
actress
that.
who just lost her son.
Regina King.
Regina King.
Regina King.
I keep thinking Hall. Regina
Yes,
King.
yes,
Regina
yes.
King.
I get 'em all confused.
Look
Yes,
what she
Regina.
has done.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
But
From a
I'm going to
childhood
piggyback
star,
off
yes.
of
Oh
that
my
one
gosh!
for you.
If I ever meet her, I'm just gonna act like I got my cool, and I'll try to keep it together. But I respect her so much because she came up, in the industry, doing what she does,
Mhm.
acting, and now
I love
she's
her.
producing. I
She's
mean,
on my list.
You don't see the scandals. You don't see
Yes.
she
Yes.
maintains
Yes.
and all of the other female producers and that's mine. Those are mine.
Yeah. I love it. I love both of them who you said. I truly do. But to say a little bit about Diane Carroll before I go to Crystal, where I did meet her, but met her in a different light.
Rub
'Cause,
it
you
in.
know-
Rub it
No.
in.
Let me tell you what happened. I met her through her stylist. Because you all know in my first life, I had a full service salon downtown DC, 2 blocks from the White House. I always gotta get that plug. So I was there for like 15 years. That's all, just 15 years. And in my 15 years of being downtown DC, 2 blocks from the White House, her stylist, she was at the Willard, and her stylist came in and said that he needed to use some equipment to, to style. I was like, Diane Carroll, of course. They were standing at the Willard, which was right across the street from my salon. And I was like, of course. And I was like, oh, yeah, because, believe it or not, we had a few celebrities that come through there. So I met her, not really met her, but I met her stylist. And so
She's a
I
good
got
storyteller.
you. Yes, I told you. I'm a good
Tell
storyteller.
stories.
But, no, when he came back, he did send a message from her. So she had a handwritten, yes, I wish I still, and she gave us a handwritten message to say thank you.
And you still have that, right?
She said she was getting ready to say she wished she
my
still
pearls when I put some on.
Yes. And Crystal, so who is it for you? So look, let me get out the hot water now. Like, okay, go ahead and piggyback on what she was saying.
I'm going to take your Regina King. And I'm going to add to that Miss Ava DuVernay. Yes. I love the fact that she's coming in and and making
shaking
waves.
it up.
Shaking. And telling our stories.
Yes.
And that's what I really like, that she's able to shape and tell our stories
in a positive light.
There you see,
yes.
and that's
There's a
me.
difference.
Yes, a big difference, right?
And so I really do look up to her. And then another person that I'm loving right now is the one who was rooting for everybody black, Miss Issa Rae.
Yes.
I love her.
Yes.
I love Issa Rae because of how she started too. She, in this age, she took what was available to her, which is the internet and YouTube, and she
capitalized. Yes.
She made something, and it took her to the top. It took her all the way to HBO to do a full time. And took her through so much, and I watched her journey. You know what I'm saying? So I watched her when she had the awkward, black girl on YouTube to finishing and closing out Insecure and being a top executive and giving opportunities to people who did not have opportunities. A lot of her staff were first time people. Camera, producer, writer.
That's how you do it.
That's what I'm saying. So
back.
that part, she reached back.
Yes.
She was the first. She reached back and she pulled. So everybody who was on her show came up through her show. It was like she didn't go get people. She used the people that she knew, and I really do admire that, because I feel like I have that type of circle, and we're next. We got next. That's all I'm saying. You heard me.
I heard you.
All right.
So when I was coming up, I'm from Detroit, so I love this local news anchor. Her name was Carmen Harlan. I don't know if she's still on the news or not, because it's been like, almost 50 years.
Go ahead and put a business out there.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Say she old.
No, she's not old. She was old to me when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
But I looked up to her, and I always wanted to be a news anchor, but I spoke with a lisp. But you're a kid. You don't know. Your parents don't know. Oh, you go to speech and all that stuff. I didn't know that.
I would have never. I don't even hear it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's cute. When I get excited, you could probably hear more. But anyway, I spoke with a list, so I didn't never go and pursue it. So it's like I feel like my life is coming around full circle, because I'm here, and the way I met Karen, it's weird, And then it was God. I agree all day. Yes. So and then someone that I admire so much, and she's gone, Miss Cicely Tyson. Let me tell y'all, if y'all haven't read her book, pick that book up. Your girl is in there, Diane Carroll. She talks about her. Let me tell you, I just love her. I love everything about her. I love her story. I just her resilience, her being in that profession for so long. How many people as actors and actresses of color that's able to have a run as long as she's had?
Still.
Yes, until the day she died.
Yeah.
Oh, and she used to do 3 sets of 10 pull-ups every day at her age.
Bless her heart.
That's celery juice.
You just embarrassed me. You just embarrassed me.
A woman after my own heart. So now, Crystal, it comes to what you just said. Is social media real media, and why?
I'ma say no. Media is
It's broad.
Let me just say this.
Yeah,
it is
very.
definitely a form of media, just like movies where you have characters and people are fake and stuff like that. Social media gives us and provides us that same format and platform.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to that, I don't
Like
see it
reality
necessarily
TV.
as media.
Mm-hmm.
I see it more so as just a way to connect. People use it as their, their muse, or they use it as their, movie theaters or whatever the case may be, their sounding boards. But I wouldn't. I can't say it's media. I say you should place to use media, but
Simone.
that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's social media. It's for the social club. It's for the social activities. It wasn't created to do, and now, like, this platform is using that to become a different type of media on, and that is real. So it's an array of opportunities, but it was created for the social aspects of connecting and communicating, and people just took it all over the place. But what a great opportunity to have it, because you're reaching more people than you would have before. So
So yes.
So it's a form of media. I just think times change. I mean, we went from radio to TV, then TV and like social media is like the next thing. We're streaming on social media, So I think it's the next wave. Whoever would have thought that we would have had a platform like that, or you able to create media on YouTube and send it out to so many people. I think it's just a shift that always, it's inevitable.
Okay. So I want to get this last one in before we go to commercial break. Can we take a public media pledge to making sure that we are upstanding? Because a lot of time that's what we saying about the social media, because people look at this on how they hire you, what your social media handles are doing, what you're doing on social media, and then just us as a media period. I just think we as Black people have to make sure that we are just being respectful and just showing ourselves in the best of light. Like now, let's talk about it, because the whole world is like what happened at the Academy Award. Now it don't took away from everything, this great movie that was out about a father taking his two daughters to reach to higher heights. So we must, I know we say we never at the best, but we have to make sure we stay mindful or let no one take us off our games, because the camera is always watching. And we have to take that media pledge. So would y'all take the media pledge as we go into commercial break, that women of media will always uphold ourselves in the best light for our community. Can we do that?
Yes.
Do I raise my hand?
Yeah. Look, we got a peace sign in the back from our engineer, the brother in the back. All right. Yeah, so I think so come on, we're gonna say yes. We're taking the media pledge to uphold ourselves and our community in the best light. Yes. Thank you. So yes. Oh, thank you guys for taking our first media pledge. Yes. So we have more to come with Women of Media. We be right back at you here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions.
Hello, my name is Tania McQueen. I'm the Residential Services Manager for Prestige Community Resources.
What our new facilities are respite centers. We're opening 2 in the city right now. Hopefully we'll expand to more. But respite centers are a place where people can come and get a little additional support with their mental health. Our one on Eastern Avenue is for men, and our one on Minnesota Avenue is for women. Our facilities are for all DC residents, especially focusing in on those in Ward 7 and 8. So they're really nice, and I'm excited for consumers to actually see them. What are the services that we're going to provide? Therapy, case management, medication management, all provided by professional staff, a licensed nurse practitioner, psychiatrist, sociologist. social workers, and then our paraprofessionals, our case managers. It's just a place where you can come and get the supports that you need to work on your personal goals, as well as to get your mental health straight. Simple, single adult, 18 years of age or older, a DC resident. You need to have insurance, but if you don't have it, it's okay. Still come, we'll work on getting you insurance. Have to have a negative COVID test, a negative TB test, and be willing to work on your mental health. For more information about respite services, you can contact us at 202-796-5000 or hit us up on our website at www.prestigecommunityresources.org.
Yes, welcome back to our special edition of Vision and Purpose Media Productions. We are here with the ladies, and it's all about Women History Month. And what a way to end out this month. We have one more day left, but we are just doing it in such a big way. And then Crystal, you'll be here tomorrow, just ending it with Bible study. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
You have a beautiful Bible study. Yes, a beautiful Bible study. Look, I got tied tongue for a minute. A beautiful Bible study that we ends on Wednesday. Yes, and this will be the finale, wrapping up that Crystal been hosting them for 2 months here on Wednesday. So yes, this is great, guys. And so with that being said, mentioning Bible study, this is the part where we do our inspirational moment with Marjorie Militant. But since Marjorie Militant is not here with us today, we're just going to have a nice little freestyle, and we all just going to say what is one of our sayings that we live by or your favorite scripture from the Bible. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to start it off. And I'm definitely going to say Philippians 4:13. And that says, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And for me, guys, it just does it. You know, if I know I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, you know, and it's just a powerful statement because that means even when I'm in my challenging times, I know I can do it. Even when I'm, you know, just at the struggle of it all. I know that I can do it through Christ. And when you believe that, it always comes, he show you that it's true, because all he asks you to do is take one step in his faith, and he's going to then provide the rest. So even when I'm just right there, guys, and I can call, look, I done made some phone calls to y'all. And like, woo, woo. And I say, whew, but my God got me. And sure enough, I call you right back and say, no, my God don't did that. Just because, because we believe. When we believe, that's what happened, you know. So I would definitely say, I just believe that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So, Belinda, I'm going to go to you. Do you have a scripture that you live by, or a statement or affirmation? What is it for you?
So I went through my arsenal when you called and told me that Marjorie was not going to be here today. And one of the ones that I truly that brings me joy as a black woman, but as a black woman especially, is 1 Corinthians 15:10. It says, "But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace to me was not without effect. No, I worked harder than all of them, yet not I, but the grace of God that was with me." I can't see y'all. I have my glasses on. But
struggle is real.
Yeah. Look, that's what she's doing, struggling.
But I like that. By the grace of God, I am what I am.
Yeah.
You know, and it's true, you know. Yes.
I love that. I love
that too.
Yes, I love that one. And actually, I think that's the apostle that he was giving that word to the apostle.
Okay.
That was saying. Okay. All right. Okay.
Don't do
All
that.
right.
Okay.
All right. Moving right along. Marjorie, text us, call in, phone in, and let us know.
Let us know who we're talking to.
Yeah. It's no. I see. I got a tongue tied a little bit, but I kind of know a little bit of that one. All right. So move right along. I'm going to come to you, Simone.
So 2 of my favorite sayings is speak life and live your dream.
I love that.
And one of my favorite scriptures is Isaiah 55:11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it.
Yes.
So yes, all of that.
Oh, yes.
Yes, all of that. So it kind of piggybacks off of yours.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
that, you know,
I love that one. Yes.
you can do all things through Christ to strengthen you, and he just confirmed it again.
Yes.
You know, when he speaks it and goes to it, it's going to happen. So you just keep that faith.
That's right.
Amen. All right, Krista.
Well, okay.
Baby
just
girl.
I'm gonna say okay, cause okay.
No, yeah.
Oh, can I do 2?
Yeah,
okay, so let me do 2. So the first one is John 14:3, where he says, I will go, I'm summarizing, I will go and make a place for you, and when it is ready, I will come and get you so that you may always be where I am and know where I am going.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That one gave me comfort in a time when I did not know him, but it let me know that he was with me and that no matter what I was going through, when he was ready, he was going to come and get me, and then I will forever be in his kingdom. So that's the first one. And then the other one is also in John. I like John's book. John got a good book. John is 15. I forgot exactly which verse.
It's somewhere in 15.
Somewhere in there between 1 and 17. And he says, Jesus, I am the vine and you are the branches, and as long as you are connected through me, you can do all things, but without me, you will bear no fruit. And so these things, powerful stuff, man. Yes, and so then my thing is just being connected to him and staying close and knowing who he is, because I feel like we get distracted by so many different things, but we know that if we stay connected to that vine, no matter what we do, if we are a branch, and then you will always bear fruit. You will not be lost.
Relationship.
Always have your relationship. Those things keep me close.
Yes. Oh, Marjorie, I think you'll be proud of us tonight. We don't see it. Share some good ones up in
She's
here.
watching.
Yes.
She said I look cute. Thank you, Marjorie.
She said, "Oh, we look cute too, Krista."
No, she said Krista looks cute.
Oh, wait.
And that's because. That's because she did say that. Take it, lady. Take it.
Krista look cute.
Yes.
Okay, troublemaker, go get her.
No. Crystal does, because we always see Crystal, with her hat on. She come in work mode. She's the engineer.
Yes.
So she go in.
Yes.
I love it.
And I tell you, and I got to look. I'm putting her on the spot. My Miss Beautiful on the end. She rocking her new hairdo, her sassy cut. I had to tell her when she came in, Simone, don't be looking around. You know I'm talking about you. I had to tell her when she came. I'm like, I love this short sassy do that she's wearing.
Yes,
you look so mature and just so divine.
Very youthful. Yeah, I like it.
Beautiful. Yes. No, I'm just saying distinguished and just my teacher. Come on, teach me, teacher.
Praise the Lord.
Yes. Praise the Lord. The Lord. Yes. So Marjorie's saying, now y'all cutting up without me.
And it wasn't me, Marjorie.
Not today.
Look, I love what she said. You heard what Krista said. Not today.
I'm normally
always, yes.
Oh, God.
So, ladies, okay. So now we have said, I would have to say, if I can come back and give two, since you all gave two, I want to come back and cheat now too. Okay, so I'm gonna come from the Book of Judge. That's one to show with, and Deborah. So the judge Deborah, it was powerful because she was a prophet used to go into Israel and let them know that the battle don't need to be with 1,000 men, that God had confessed that they only needed 100 men. And and just the strength of that woman, the strength of the woman, but showing what Krista said, but bringing that nurturing side to still not uphold the men, for she would not be the one that's taking the credit for everything, that that she was the guiding light for them during that battle. So when so I kind of like the story of Deborah as well. So and I did like Chris. I did my own version of Deborah, but I would just say, just go look it up in the book.
Yeah, because I've never heard that version you gave.
See, I knew.
I'm bewildered. I'm like, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, well, then you go look it up.
That's from the book of Karen.
No, you go look it up.
Okay, I will.
Oh, okay. Yes,
indeed.
Yeah, it's very short too. It's very short. Very short. Yeah, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. So with that being said, though, so how do your spiritual side keep you grounded in such the public view that we are in? Belinda.
How does it keep me grounded? It keeps me grounded because, way back when, really not that long ago.
Yesterday. So, no.
This girl yesterday, 2 hours ago.
I know, right? This mouth was
here.
fire. I would try to cut you with this tongue. But, it was one of those things, you hurt me, I hurt you back. I'm going to hurt you harder. But, you grow up, and you realize that your words do not return void, So I'm very careful and very intentional with what I say and who I say it to. Because I had to go back and beg my partner a couple of times, and I'm okay with that. As a woman, as an adult, as a human being, you should be able to go back and say, if I said this, I apologize.
And see,
because
you don't. I was saying that earlier.
You grow up.
There's strength in the power of being able to say you're wrong or that you apologize. It really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wrong. I was wrong. That's cool.
Yes.
It's okay.
How does say that again?
Yes.
How does your spirituality keep you grounded?
I just wanted to hear the words again.
Yes.
It keeps me grounded because I know the power of God. And all the things these past 2 years, and being transparent, that I have not worked but 1 month since 2020, January 2020. God has kept me. And it was only because I stayed in him and I continued to trust him, and I stayed in those positive reinforcing words. God is going to make it happen. I got to trust God. He said to trust him. He said, when you're at your weakest, I'm your strength. So you stayed positive. You don't speak, and people like, I would have never been able to do it. I would have broke. But I said, God promised us. He said, if you delight yourself in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. And my desires were to have some income.
I know. Believe it.
But God made ways that I had no idea were there. I still have my house. I still have my car. I'm still eating. I'm still providing and, moving forward and, knowing God is God. That just keeps me grounded.
I love it. Crystal.
Hallelujah. Okay, so how does my spirituality keep me grounded, right? That's the question. I know, I told you, and now I'm trying to. Okay, so I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of Simone.
Yes.
Knowing God in that his ways are not like ours. Keeps me grounded. Because if I had to deal with these humans and rely on humans, I would.
She said, I would.
But knowing that his ways are not our ways, and that his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his way, and anything that I can think of is good, he can supersede that. Keeps me grounded. It doesn't give me a big head. It allows me to know that anything and everything that I'm going through right now, he got it. Anything, our ways, whatever I'm worried about, he's not worried worried about that. He doesn't worry like we worry. He doesn't. His ways are not our ways. That keeps me grounded because that then knows I'm dealing with something bigger than myself. So it keeps me right here, and it lets me know that there's someone bigger and greater.
Yes, and definitely. And if I can piggyback off all you all and end with this, faith without work is dead, and that's what I know. And just to say, in this pandemic, yes, we have all felt it, and I understand about the income, and then even moving here into this location, it's like, girl, are you crazy? You open up a business in the middle of a pandemic? Yes, it did. And Crystal could know I'm more the fall. Crystal says, and the struggle is real, And
I'm unemployed, trying to help her. We doing this together.
Yes, and so
I got a job in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes, and so I'm just like, I have to know that I'm still in the blessing, in the blessing of it all. Even in the midst of the struggle of getting a new business off the ground, I'm still in my blessing. God has me, and He see my work. He see the work that and so He will reward me the fruits of my labor. And that I do know, and that's what keep me going. I have to walk in that each and every day. Just know that I don't need to see it. I don't have to, see it right away or know the income. He may not give me the income in the sense of what we saying income is, but He will protect the ones who abide in Him. So just being obedient to Him and abiding Him, and so guys, and this is the end. So if nothing else, I think we all just saying, in order to receive a blessing, we know you must first be a blessing. That's a true mission in life, and this is what we want to do. This is who we are, vision and purpose. This is all, we all part of the team. We help each other in our own personal endeavors. We help each other, just be, faithful stewards for our community. And I thank you, ladies, and happy Women History Month, and happy Women in Media. Yes. Until next time, we'll see you on the other side. You have been watching a special edition of Vision and Purpose Community Magazine and Vision and Purpose Media Production, here with Women in Media and Women Who Lead. Thank you, and God bless.